People were injured, some gravely. We are not ready yet to confirm the details of those injuries. There are federal, state, and local law enforcement all on scene and coordinating very closely. The FBI has taken charge of the investigation. As I mentioned, Special Agent in charge Rick Delorier will speak to that in just a minute. This is an active investigation, particularly in the several blocks around Boylston Street, around that blast area. That is a crime scene. The National Guard has secured that crime scene and is limiting access to it. So that will affect not just this evening, but the next day or two while the investigation continues. A support center has been opened at the Park Plaza Castle on Arlington and Columbus Avenue. Runners, there were several runners who were unable to finish the race, as you may know, because the race was stopped at Mass Avenue right after the event. Though there are buses bringing those runners from various cities and towns along the route to that support station now, and families who have not had a chance yet to connect, or other friends and supporters not yet had a chance to connect with runners, or who have other needs, can check in there at the support center. The city, the mayor and his staff have made staff available at the support center to help meet people's needs. Otherwise, the City of Boston is open. And will be open tomorrow, but it will not be business as usual. There will be a heightened law enforcement presence consistent with the severity and seriousness of the ongoing investigation. People should expect, those who are riding the T, that there will be random checks of backpacks and other parcels. And we just ask everyone to be patient with that inconvenience for the time being. It is for the public's safety. We're also asking that everyone be on a state of heightened vigilance. That is really required of everyone. Please report suspicious packages or parcels or suspicious activity to local law enforcement. I also want to say that there have been a number of stories I've heard this afternoon of residents in Boston and along the route in the cities and towns that the marathon passes through, of extraordinary kindness shown to runners and others, neighbors and visitors, who are as shaken by this experience as we are. And we so appreciate those kindnesses and thank you for them. We're going to get through this. We do not have all the answers to all of your questions yet, not all of you here in the media or others around the Commonwealth or around the country or the world. But I can tell you from the President to the members of our congressional delegation, to many, many fellow governors who have called to check in, to all of the leaders in law enforcement here in the state, at the local level, and at the federal level, we are all coming together to do everything we can to get to the bottom of this. Let me turn the podium over now to Special Agent in charge, Rick Delorier. Rick?
Thank you very much, Governor Patrick. The most important fact that I wanted to convey to everybody this evening has already been mentioned by Governor Patrick. The FBI is taking the lead in this investigation. It is asserting federal jurisdiction. It will do so through the Boston Joint Terrorism Task Force, members of which are comprised by all the members of the law enforcement agencies here represented at the podium. This will be a combined federal, state, and local effort. It will be an ongoing investigation. It is a criminal investigation that is a potential terrorist investigation. We will be working diligently to gather information and gather all the facts and bring those who are responsible for this crime to justice as swiftly as possible. It is an ongoing investigation, as Governor Patrick mentioned. I'm not at liberty right now to go into details of that ongoing investigation, but echoing Governor Patrick's words, I encourage everyone to have a heightened state of vigilance here in the Boston area tonight and tomorrow as we move forward. I urge anybody who has any information pertaining to this crime to call 1-800-CALL-FBI. This is a tip line that we have set up, ready to receive tips that might come in or leads that might come in. The FBI is bringing a substantial, very, very substantial federal resources to bear, along with our federal partners. ATF is well represented here. Gene Marquez from the Boston ATF office It's been a key ally of ours. All the law enforcement agencies here will be bringing tremendous resources to bear. All federal resources that can be brought to bear will be brought up here to the Boston area. So that being said, I will turn it over now. I think U.S. Attorney Ortiz wanted to say a few words, and then we'll turn it over to Commissioner Davis.
Yes, good evening. I just want to echo what the governor has said and what many others have said throughout the day today, that this is a horrific tragedy in our city of Boston. And we, on behalf of the Department of Justice, are here to provide all the resources necessary to this investigation. There are a lot of questions, and questions that we wish we could answer at this point. But what I can assure you is that this is a very thorough and active and fluid ongoing investigation. I ask you that you help with that. Quite frankly, I know that there is a lot of information that is being sought. As the governor said, there's been a bit of misinformation. We do not want to add to that misinformation, and what we want to do is to continue to investigate this matter, get to the individual or individuals that may be responsible for this, and the Department of Justice is prepared to provide all of the assistance necessary to our, not only the FBI and ATF and our other federal agencies, but our state and local partners as well. I just wanted to echo that on behalf of the department. Thank you.
Thank you, United States Attorney. On behalf of Mayor Menino, I'd like to offer my sympathies to the victims and the families of this horrendous event. This cowardly act will not be taken in stride. We will turn every rock over to find the people who are responsible for this. We're working very closely with my partner, Rick Delorier. The Boston Police Department is on the scene and has been there since this incident happened. There's been a horrendous loss of life. At least 3 people have died in this event. But the number of injuries and the people injured is an unfolding issue right now. We will not have hard figures on that until tomorrow morning. There were all sorts of questions that are being asked. I want to stress one thing. There is no suspect at Brigham and Women's Hospital. There are people that we are talking to, but there is no suspect at Brigham and Women's Hospital, has been widely reported in the press. I'd like to fix that right now. Again, there will be questions that you have, and we'll do our best to answer them. But this is still very early in the investigation. Tomorrow, as the governor said, will not be business as usual in Boston. The Boston Police Department is on emergency deployment. We are working 12-hour shifts, and there will be a significant police presence throughout the city. Please give us some space around the Copley area as we process this scene. And again, if there are any pieces of information or photos from the incident, getting those to the 2 tip lines, the FBI tip line primarily. They are now in charge of the investigation because of the nature of this investigation, as well as the Boston Police line at 1-800-494-TIPS. I'd now like to invite the District Attorney, Dan Conley, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Earlier this afternoon, like so many Bostonians, I was on Boylston Street near the finish line, had left about 30 minutes before this incident occurred. And a short time ago, Commissioner Davis, myself, Colonel Albin, and Special Agent Deloria, and our top staff went down to the scene. It was a large and disturbing scene. Like each of you, I'm praying for the victims and their loved ones. This is a terrible, terrible day for them. They and the public at large can count on our very best and most seamless work in the days to come. Seconds after those bombs went off, we saw civilians running to help the victims right alongside members of the Boston Police Department and Boston EMS. And in the hours that followed, police and medical personnel from across the region have sent dozens, maybe even hundreds, of volunteers to help us here in Boston. That's what Americans do in times of crisis. We come together and we help one another. Moments like these, terrible as they are, don't show our weakness. They show our strength. Thank you.
Happy to take any questions?
Oh, sir, why were loudspeakers telling people in the audience to be calm moments before the bomb went off Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and promote homeland security while sticking their hands down on the pants on the streets?
No. Next question.
You have said that there's no suspect, but is there a person of interest either at Park Plaza or Brigham and Women's? Or people of interest?
I'm not going to comment on specific investigative leads that are ongoing right now. I'm not at liberty to. But there is investigative activity ongoing right now, but I'm not at liberty to comment on the specifics of
Are you
that.
interviewing people?
Again, it is a very active and fluid investigation at this time. All resources, federal, state, and local, are being brought to bear.
How many explosive devices did you find? Can you comment on that? How many explosive devices?
No, again, I'm not going to comment on specifics of the investigation right now in terms of the number of explosives that were found at the location. No, I'm not going to comment. Evidence analysis is ongoing right now, and it would be imprudent to me to comment before that evidentiary review is finished.
Commissioner advises people who work in the area, you know, if it's going to be not business as usual tomorrow, what should people do tomorrow?
Should I respond to that?
Please go.
Just in the area that is the cordoned off crime scene, which is basically runs along Boylston Street from Berkeley to Mass Ave, and then north to Newbury Street and south to Huntington Street. That's the secure area right now. Now that may get smaller over the course of the next several hours of investigation, but that area is not going to be accessible for normal traffic.
Does the investigation include the entire marathon route?
No.
Searching the entire route?
No, we've locked down, well, I mean, the investigation will lead us in various places, but right now, that area that the governor outlined is our main point of focus right now.
Again, why were people speakers telling people to be calm before the bomb went off? I want to answer that question.
Currently in your search for additional devices, are you searching the entire route of the marathon, or are you focused on certain areas right now? Are there specific areas that you're focused on beyond the Copley area?
At this point in time, our focus of the investigation is in the area that the governor mentioned.
Why was it why is the bomb going off?
Are there any unaccounted for people? If so, how would you?
We're actually working very closely with the families right now. We're setting up a location near here that families can come to if they have any questions. The mayor's office has fielded many calls of concern. We're going through those right now.
Okay, thank you guys.